At 6 in the morning on the day of the college entrance exam. The class beauty posted in the group chat. I've booked a bus to take everyone to the exam venue. Boys get priority boarding. In my past life, I took that bus. Arrived 40 minutes late. And scored 0 on the English listening section. In this life, I took a taxi myself and arrived at the exam venue gate by 6:30. Then sent the bus a location pin. It's still stuck outside the 3rd ring road. Su Chiao. You can still back out now. I'll have the driver wait for you at the intersection for 3 minutes. Okay. At 6:30 in the morning, I was sitting in a ride-hailing car heading to the exam venue when my phone screen lit up. In the class group chat. The class beauty Zhao Sihan sent a voice message. Her voice was syrupy, dripping with obvious smugness and condescension. Immediately after, a 10-second video popped up in the group chat. The video showed a brand new minibus. With colorful balloons hanging inside the cabin, Zhao Sihan sat in the passenger seat. As the camera panned across the back rows of the vehicle, more than 20 boys squeezed together, excitedly flashing peace signs at the camera. Thank you, Goddess Sihan. You've taken over my youth. This is truly the most fragrant bus I've ever ridden, even the air smells sweet. Looking at these frantically scrolling messages, I just felt my stomach churning. In my previous life, I was also sitting in this car. Zhao Sihan. Under the guise of offering everyone a free ride to the exam venue, deceived the vast majority of the class into boarding this unlicensed vehicle. The car departed promptly at 7, but took an extremely remote ring road. At exactly 7:20, the bus broke down right on schedule. The entire busload of people was stranded in the middle of nowhere, and it took a full 20 minutes to hail just a few scattered taxis. By the time I rushed into the exam hall, drenched in sweat, the English listening test had already finished. Those 25 points were wiped clean, and I missed my chance at my dream top-tier university. Zhao Sihan cried like a pear blossom in the rain afterward, saying she was also a victim. Not only did the boys not blame her, but they lined up to comfort her. It wasn't until later that I accidentally found out that the bus driver was actually her own cousin. Having been reborn, I will never set foot on that bus to hell again. I typed a line in the chat box. Thanks, Sihan. But my dad is giving me a ride today, so I won't join. The moment the message was sent, the group chat went silent for 2 seconds. Then, my childhood friend Lu Chen popped up. Su Chiao, are you being too antisocial? Sihan got up at 6 in the morning to arrange transportation for everyone, and you didn't even say a word of thanks. Just poured cold water on it. Who exactly are you putting on that aloof act for? Lu Chen's words were dripping with a strong sense of hostility. Since Zhao Sihan transferred to our class, the childhood friend who once swore to protect me for life has become her most loyal hunting dog. Zhao Sihan quickly replied with a voice message, her voice tinged with a wronged, tearful tone. Lu Chen. Don't blame Su Chiao. Maybe she just doesn't like me. It's okay. I only feel sorry for you careless boys. Girls can just take a seat when there's one available. The guys in the group chat immediately erupted, all starting to attack me. Su Chiao. Do you have any sense of collective honor? Sihan's family is rich and willing to charter a bus. What are you jealous of? Serves you right for going to the exam alone. Hope you can't get a taxi later. I stared expressionlessly at the vicious curses scrolling across the screen and directly muted the group chat notifications. I switched out of the interface and opened a private chat group with 3 girls I usually got along well with. Don't take Zhao Sihan's car today. Go to the exam venue. On your own. Don't ask why. Just trust me. Zhang Meng and Wang Yu replied very straightforwardly. Got it. I've always hated her pathetic bootlicking act. My dad's already started the car. See you at the exam hall. Only Lin. She remained silent for a long time. 5 minutes later. Lin. She sent a voice message. Her voice kept very low. But Su Chiao. My home is too far from the exam venue. Taking a taxi would cost over 80 yuan. Zhao Sihan said there are free breakfasts and Red Bull on the bus. And I want to save some money. I frowned and quickly typed. I'll book a ride-hailing car for you. And I'll pay for it. Go wait at the intersection right now. Lin Shi's side showed typing on and off for a long time. Finally, she sent a message. Forget it, Su Qiao. You're just jealous of Sihan's popularity. You deserve to go to the exam hall alone. Jealous of her. I just hope you guys don't cry too loudly later. I stared at the message Lin Shi sent, let out a cold laugh, and tossed my phone aside. At exactly 7 o'clock. The ride-hailing car pulled up steadily at the entrance of the exam center. Because it was drizzling, the area outside the exam hall was empty, with only a few security guards setting up cordons. I opened my umbrella and walked over to take shelter from the rain under the eaves nearby. The phone vibrated again. A special notification sound from the class group. I had already turned off the Do Not Disturb mode, but the homeroom teacher, Mr. Lee, sent an everyone message in the group. Classmates, be careful on the way, bring your admission tickets, and gather at the exam site entrance at 7:30 sharp. Right below Mr. Lee's message was a selfie from Zhao Sihan. In the photo, she is holding a can of Red Bull, with the background showing the boys in the train carriage wolfing down sandwiches. Don't worry, Teacher Lee. I've taken good care of everyone. We promise to arrive at the exam venue by 7:40 sharp. Lu Chen immediately chimed in to show his support. Sihan is not only beautiful and kind-hearted, but even the breakfast she bought is this delicious. Unlike some people, who can only lurk in the corners, crawling in the shadows. Everyone in the class knew exactly who this some people referred to. I couldn't be bothered to care and was about to exit WeChat. A message from Lin Shi suddenly popped up in the group chat. She sent a photo of herself sitting in the last row of a bus. Thank you, Squad Leader Sihan, for taking me in. The air conditioning on the bus is so strong, and the sandwich is really delicious. My hand gripping the umbrella handle suddenly tightened. Lin Shi not only got into the car but also deliberately posted photos in the group to show loyalty to Zhao Sihan. Zhao Sihan replied instantly, "Oh, Lin Shi. I'm so glad you could come. I was worried Su Qiao wouldn't let you get in the car." As soon as this was said, the atmosphere in the group instantly shifted. Lu Chen sent a long voice message, his tone dripping with contempt. "Su Qiao, what exactly are you up to? It's bad enough that you don't fit in, but now you're privately stopping others from taking Sihan's car. Do you only feel happy when everyone's late?" Lin Shi immediately sent a screenshot. It was exactly the chat record from the private group where I advised them not to take the car. "Everyone, look, Su Qiao even privately messaged me this morning, telling me not to take the squad leader's car. I really can't stand her two-faced behavior anymore. Why is the class monitor putting in both money and effort? And what gives her the right to cause such destruction?" The group chat erupted completely. More than 20 boys, like cats whose tails had been stepped on, began attacking me with the most vicious words. "Su Qiao, you're disgusting. Are you mentally twisted or what? Women really are troublesome. They can't stand seeing others do better than them. Sihan, just ignore her. People like her deserve to fail their college entrance exams." I stared at the flickering characters on the screen, feeling nothing but absurdity. I reached out to help her in good faith. Yet she chopped off my hand as a token of loyalty to curry favor with her master. Zhang Meng was so anxious that she sent voice messages in the private chat. "Su Qiao, is Lin Shi crazy? How could she post the chat history in the group? Is she willing to throw away all her dignity just to save that 80 yuan cab fare?" I calmly replied to Zhang Meng, "Respect others' fate. Let go of the urge to help." At 7:20, Zhang Meng and Wang Yu arrived at the exam site entrance one after another. They put away their umbrellas and stood beside me, trembling with anger as they read the messages in the group chat. Are these guys' brains filled with mush? Whatever Zhao Sihan says, they just believe it. Wang Yu gritted her teeth. I watched the rain curtain in the distance gradually grow larger, my voice devoid of any fluctuation. "No rush. The real show has just begun." At that moment, the homeroom teacher, Mr. Lee, hurried over with an umbrella. She glanced at the three of us, her brows tightly furrowed. "Su Qiao, why are there only 3 of you? Where are the others?" I pointed at my phone screen. Teacher Lee. They're all on Zhao Sihan's chartered bus. Teacher Lee's face instantly darkened. And he took out his phone to send a voice message in the group chat. Zhao Sihan. Where are you guys now? The rain is getting heavier, don't be late for the entrance. The group chat was silent for a full minute. Then, Lin, she sent a voice message. Her voice carrying a hint of barely noticeable panic. Teacher Lee. We seem to have taken the wrong road. Master said this road is a shortcut. But why aren't there even any streetlights outside? I looked at that voice message. A cold smirk curling at the corner of my mouth as I typed my reply. Su Qiao. That's enough. Sihan kindly let me in the car. And you just have to curse us with bad luck. Don't you? Since you're so determined to court death. Then go ahead and lock yourself in with them. I deleted the words I originally wanted to type in the chat box and directly pressed the lock screen button. At 7:30, more and more examinees and parents gathered at the entrance of the exam center. Colorful umbrellas crowded together, like a forest of mushrooms swaying in the wind and rain. Teacher Lee, holding the attendance sheet, was as anxious as an ant on a hot pan. It's already this late. Out of 30 people, only the 3 of you have arrived. She dialed Zhao Sihan's number again, only to hear, the subscriber you dialed is temporarily unavailable. Teacher Lee stomped her foot in anger and turned to look at me. Su Qiao. You're the class monitor. Since you knew this morning that they were going to charter a bus, why didn't you stop them? Such an important event as the college entrance exam, how could you just casually take an unlicensed cab outside? Looking at Teacher Lee's anxious face, a chill ran through my heart. In this class, whenever something goes wrong, the blame always falls on me. I stated the facts in a calm tone. Teacher Lee, I'm not the class monitor. Zhao Sihan is. Besides, I tried to persuade Lin Shi this morning. You saw the chat records in the group. They think I'm jealous of Zhao Sihan. How could I stop them? Teacher Lee was left speechless by my retort and could only continue frantically ing Zhao Sihan in the group. At 7:35, the group chat finally stirred. Zhao Sihan sent a voice message, with the background filled with the sound of rain pounding against the car windows, along with the clamor of the boys. Don't worry, Teacher Lee. The driver said the main road ahead is jammed. We're now taking the service road of the Ring Expressway. There's usually hardly any traffic here. The driver guarantees we'll arrive before 7:50. Lu Chen quickly chimed in. That's right. Teacher Lee. The master is an experienced driver with excellent skills. We were listening to music and having breakfast in the car. Not panicking at all. Unlike some people. Standing in the rain and cold wind at the exam entrance. What time is it? And he still finds a way to take a jab at me. Zhang Meng leaned over, glanced at the screen, and rolled her eyes dramatically. Ring Road Auxiliary Lane. The exam site is clearly in the city center. Why are they heading to the suburbs? I opened the group chat and sent a message. It takes at least 40 minutes from your current location to the exam center, even without traffic. Are you sure you can make it by 7:50? This sentence was like a stone thrown into a cesspool. Group chat instantly exploded. Su Qiao. Are you out of your mind? Can't stand to see us do well. The master said this route is the fastest. What do you know when you can't even drive? Sihan. Don't mind her. She's just trying to mess with our heads and affect our performance. Lin Shi also jumped in, posting a long string of text. Su Qiao. I know you're angry because I posted the chat logs. But you can't joke about everyone's college entrance exam. The atmosphere in our carriage is great right now. Yet you insist on saying such discouraging words. What exactly is your intention? I looked at Lin Shi's sanctimonious expression and didn't even have the energy to get angry. Teacher Lee, watching the argument in the group, completely lost patience. She turned her spearhead toward me. Su Qiao, can you just say less? The most important thing now is to get them there safely. What's the use of stirring up trouble here? As a classmate, instead of helping to think of a solution, you're making sarcastic remarks. Where's your decency? I was amused by Teacher Lee's logic. Teacher, I'm just stating a basic geographical fact. They're at least 20 kilometers away from the exam site. Are they going to fly over? Teacher Lee's eyes widened as he pointed his finger at my nose. How dare you talk back? If they fail today because of a mental breakdown, can you take responsibility for that? I looked at Teacher Lee's extremely biased expression and took a step back to create some distance. The responsibility lies with the person who chartered the bus, not with me. Just then, a location sharing link suddenly popped up in the group chat. It was accidentally pressed by a boy in the car. I clicked the link, and the little red dot on the map was stopped on an abandoned industrial road outside the 3rd Ring Road. There was absolutely no shortcut leading to the city center there. I held the screen up in front of Teacher Lee. Teacher Lee, see for yourself. After Teacher Lee saw the location, his face instantly turned pale, and even the attendance sheet in his hand fell into a puddle. In the group chat, the boy who had sent the location suddenly posted a voice message. His voice carried an unmistakable panic. Master, are you sure this is the right way? Why is this road a dead end ahead? Immediately after, a loud bang came from the group. Su Qiao, are you out of your mind? Can't you stand to see us do well? The master said this is the fastest route. Fine. Then I wish you a smooth journey, just don't break down halfway. I took back my phone, stared at the last message on the screen, and coldly spat out these words. 7:40. 20 minutes until the exam hall doors close. After that loud bang in the group chat, a deathly silence lasted for a full 30 seconds. Then, messages flooded in like a frenzy of snowflakes. What the hell? What's going on? Why did the car stop? Driver, why did you brake so suddenly? My soy milk spilled all over my admission ticket. There's no road ahead. It's a dead end. The voice note was filled with the sound of a man's curses and rain, making it extremely chaotic. Teacher Lee picked up the attendance sheet from the ground, his hands trembling so much that he couldn't even hold his phone steady. She directly dialed Zhao Sihan's voice call. Zhao Sihan. What the hell is going on? Why did the car stop? On the other end of the line, Zhao Sihan's voice finally carried a hint of tears. Teacher Lee, I don't know either. The mechanic said the engine seems to have water in it. The car has stalled now and won't start. Teacher Lee's vision went dark, and he nearly fainted. Zhang Meng quickly reached out to steady her, but Teacher Lee pushed Zhang Meng away and grabbed my arm tightly. Su Qiao, didn't your dad drive you here? Call your dad right now. Tell him to drive over and pick people up. Get as many as you can. Hurry. She grabbed me so hard it hurt, and I shook her hand off forcefully. Teacher Lee, my dad has already gone to work, and his car can only seat 4 people. There are 27 people over there. How do you expect my dad to pick them all up? Teacher Lee's eyes turned red with anxiety, and she spoke without thinking. Then you pay for it. Call 10 ride-hailing cars over there right now. You usually have so much pocket money. What's the big deal with covering it first? Let Zhao Sihan pay you back later. I looked at the homeroom teacher in front of me, who had completely lost his mind trying to shirk responsibility, and found it utterly ridiculous. Teacher, that road is in an abandoned industrial zone. No ride-hailing car is willing to go there. And besides, why should I be the one paying? Teacher Lee pointed at me, his finger trembling. You're cold-blooded. You're selfish. That's your classmate. In the group chat, Lu Chen was still trying to take control of the situation. Don't panic, everyone. Sihan has already called the technician to fix it. The technician said it's just a minor issue and can be fixed in 5 minutes. Trust Sihan. Everyone, she would never do anything to harm us. Lin, she also sent a voice message, her voice trembling like a sieve. Alright. The squad leader must have a way. We'll just wait on the bus. I watched the minutes tick by. 7:45. The loudspeaker at the exam site had already started broadcasting the instructions for candidates entering the venue. On the bus, Zhao Sihan sat in the passenger seat, watching the rain outside grow heavier and the engine that refused to start. Her heart sinking into complete panic. In her past life, the plan she had discussed with her cousin was, the car would break down on the edge of the city. She would use the excuse of needing to use the restroom to get out, and then her cousin would help her hail a prearranged taxi for her to leave first, leaving the rest of the people in the car waiting for rescue. But now, Because the rain was too heavy. Her cousin, in a desperate attempt to avoid the traffic police, had blindly driven into a dead end. There was no taxi she had arranged here at all. Zhao Sihan stood up, gave her cousin a meaningful look, and lowered her voice. Cousin, open the door quickly. I need to get off. Her cousin was sweating profusely as he pressed the buttons on the control panel, his face paler than paper. Sihan, the door won't open. Zhao Sihan froze, her voice suddenly rising. What do you mean? What do you mean it won't open? Her cousin anxiously slapped the steering wheel. I just slammed on the brakes, and it seems the circuit board got fried. The doors are locked. Zhao Sihan's face instantly turned pale. She rushed to the car door, pounding on the glass, her refined demeanor completely gone. Open the door. Open it. I have to get to my exam. The boys in the carriage were still waiting for the miracle of fixing it in 5 minutes. Hearing Zhao Sihan scream, everyone froze. Lu Chen pushed his way to the front and stared in shock at Zhao Sihan, who was frantically pounding on the door. Sihan, what's wrong? Didn't the workers say it would be fixed soon? Zhao Sihan couldn't be bothered with him at all. She turned around and grabbed her cousin by the collar, tears mixing with her smudged eye makeup as they streamed down her face. Think of something. My dad paid you $2,000 to put on an act, not to trap me here too. The moment those words were spoken, the entire carriage fell into a deathly silence. Teacher, how was I supposed to stop them? They said it loud and clear. Men first. Women need not apply. Su Qiao, did you know this car was faulty all along? At 7:50, Lu Chen let out a heart-wrenching roar in the group chat. Accompanying that roar was a barrage of questions exploding in the group like boiling water. Zhao Sihan, what did you just say about acting? What 2,000 yuan? Who the hell is this driver? Spit it out. Why won't the door open? Are you deliberately trying to lock us in here? Voice messages came one after another. The roar of a male student, Lin Shi's screams, and the dull thuds of glass being smashed all mixed together. Outside the exam hall, Teacher Li listened to these voice messages, his legs giving way as he collapsed directly into a puddle. It's over. It's all over, she murmured, her face ashen. I stood under the eaves, watching the farce in the group chat with cold eyes, my fingers tapping rapidly on the screen. Lu Chen, if there's water in your brain, go drain it out. The car was booked by Zhao Sihan. The route was chosen by the driver, and the door was something you couldn't break down yourselves. Which eye of yours saw me having anything to do with this car? Lu Chen was rambling incoherently in the group chat. Then why didn't you take it this morning? Why did you persuade Lin Shi not to take it? You must know the inside story. You deliberately watched us make fools of ourselves. I was so infuriated by his shamelessness that I couldn't help but laugh. I made it very clear this morning. I didn't sit down because I found it beneath me. I advised Lin Shi because I actually have a brain. As for you, since you've entrusted your lives to your goddess Sihan, then go ahead and enjoy the grave she's prepared for you. Inside the bus, the atmosphere had dropped to freezing point. Several tall male students surrounded Zhao Sihan and the driver, the sports committee member, who usually liked to hang around Zhao Sihan the most, grabbed the driver by the collar and slammed him hard against the bus window. Who the hell are you? Speak. The driver, choked until his eyes rolled back, tremblingly looked at Zhao Sihan. Zhao Sihan curled up in the corner of the passenger seat, clutching her head and screaming, "Don't hit him. He's my cousin." Cousin. The whole car gasped in shock. Lin Shi rushed over from the last row, grabbing Zhao Sihan's hair, her voice sharp and distorted. Zhao Sihan, are you crazy? You had your cousin drive us to the college entrance exam in an unlicensed car. Didn't you say this was a proper tour bus? Zhao Sihan, her scalp tingling from the pull, cried and tried to pry Lin Shi's hands away. I didn't mean to. I just wanted everyone to think I was impressive, to make the guys grateful to me. My cousin said he could drive a bus, so I had him rent one. I originally planned to pretend the bus broke down halfway, then take a taxi myself and make you all a little late. I never expected the door to break. I'm trapped here too. Her breakdown and self-destruction were like a nuclear bomb. completely detonating inside the train car. Lu Chen stood at the edge of the crowd, staring at the girl he had worshipped like a goddess for a year. His eyes shifting from shock to utter unfamiliarity and fear. You want us to be late. Lu Chen's voice trembled violently. Why? Zhao Sihan was crying so hard that her face was covered in tears, her makeup smudged into a mess, making her look like a ridiculous clown. Because Su Qiao's grades are better than mine. Because you always compare me to her. As long as you're both late and fail the English listening test, I can secure first place in the class. I just wanted to prove that I'm better than her. Absurd. Utterly absurd. Out of jealousy for my grades. She didn't hesitate to drag the entire class of 27 people down with her. Even those who fawned over her with daily care and concern were nothing more than tools to be used as scapegoats in her eyes. The boys in the carriage went completely insane. Fuck you. The sports committee member punched Zhao Sihan's cousin square in the face, and blood instantly sprayed from his nose. Smash the window. Hurry up and break the window. If we don't leave now, it'll really be too late. Someone grabbed the safety hammer from the bus and desperately smashed it against the thick tempered glass. But on that old, second-hand bus, the safety hammer had long rusted, and after a few strikes, not even a crack appeared. 8 o'clock sharp. The exam hall gates officially opened, and the security guard began broadcasting loudly through a megaphone. Please prepare your admission ticket and ID card, and line up in an orderly manner to enter the venue. Those who are more than 15 minutes late are prohibited from entering the test site. I put away my phone and held my admission ticket and ID card in my hand. Zhang Meng and Wang Yu glanced at me and took a deep breath. Let's go. Su Qiao. I nodded and turned toward the security checkpoint. Behind me, Teacher Li suddenly rushed over and tightly grabbed my leg. Su Qiao. Don't go. Help me figure something out. 30 people. If they all skip the exam, my teaching career will be completely ruined. You have a way, don't you? You must have a way. Right. I looked down at this homeroom teacher who had once mocked me and favored Zhao Sihan to the extreme. Cousin, open the door. You promised to let me off at the intersection. Why did you lock the door? Sihan, what did you just call him? Cousin. When Lu Chen's voice message popped up in the group chat, I had already reached the security checkpoint, ignoring Teacher Li, who was clinging to my leg. I forcefully pulled my leg free. Teacher Li, what you should be doing right now is calling the police, not begging me here. I'm just a test taker. My job is to take the exam. Without looking back, I walked through the gate of the exam hall. The security guard stopped Teacher Li outside the cordon, and her desperate cries were gradually drowned out by the sound of rain. At 8:10, I found my exam room and sat down in my seat. There are still 20 minutes until the exam starts, and the examination room is already full. I arranged my stationery, took out my phone one last time, and opened the class group chat. The group chat has now turned into a battlefield. Someone is live streaming a video. In the video, the inside of the bus was a complete mess. Zhao Sihan's cousin was beaten until his face was covered in blood, curled up under the driver's seat. The boys went wild, kicking and smashing the windows with a fire extinguisher. Bang, bang, bang. The dull thud echoed through the enclosed carriage, accompanied by Lin Shi's ear-piercing wails. Zhao Sihan, you ruined my college entrance exam. You bitch. Lin Shi straddled Zhao Sihan, slapping her wildly. Zhao Sihan's expensive white dress was already torn, and her hair was as messy as a bird's nest. She didn't even have the strength to fight back, only able to hold her head and wail in agony. Lu Chen stood by the side, holding a broken safety hammer in his hand, staring blankly at the scene. The former goddess, the former brothers, now like a pack of wild dogs tearing at each other in the mud. Finally, a crisp crack sound rang out. A large hole was smashed into a car window with a fire extinguisher. Cold wind mixed with rain instantly poured into the carriage. It's open. It's open. Jump out the window. Quick. The boys, as if clutching at a lifeline, scrambled to squeeze through that narrow opening. The first to squeeze over was the sports monitor. He had barely leaned half his body out the window when he let out a terrified scream. Holy crap! There's a ditch out here. Because my cousin had fled in a panic. The bus had stopped right next to an abandoned drainage channel. Jumping down means landing in waist-deep filthy water. But at this point, there was no time to care about that. Jump. If you don't jump, you'll die waiting. One by one. The boys leaped from the window into the stinking ditch, splashing up black mud. In the final few seconds of the video, my cousin took advantage of the chaos to climb out through the window on the driver's side, rolling and scrambling until he disappeared into the curtain of rain. Cousin! Don't leave me behind. Zhao Sihan leaned against the window, reaching out in despair, only to grasp a handful of cold rain. The video ends abruptly here. I stared at the black screen, feeling not a single ripple of emotion inside. In my past life, they sat in the dry carriage, watching me cry outside the exam hall because I was late and was stopped from entering. Lu Chen even sent a message in the group chat. Su Qiao just has terrible mental resilience. Can't even hail a cab. No wonder she failed the exam. This time, it's their turn to struggle in the gutter. At 8:20, the invigilator entered the exam room carrying sealed exam papers. All examinees, turn off your phones and surrender all electronic devices. Before I pressed the shutdown button, Lin Shi's private message popped up in the group chat. Su Qiao, where are you? Please, help me. I don't want to jump into the stinky ditch. My clothes will get dirty. Don't you know a ride-hailing driver? Can you ask him to come pick me up? I'll pay 200. No. 500. I stared at the few lines on the screen and found them utterly ridiculous. Even at a time like this. She was still worried about whether her clothes would get dirty. I replied to the last message. Take your time smashing things. I'm going into the exam hall now. After all, the listening test waits for no one. Su Qiao, don't leave. Please call the police for us. I'm begging you. When Lin Shi's last message popped up, I had already pressed and held the power button, watching the screen go completely dark. I placed my phone into the storage pouch on the podium, turned around, and walked back to my seat. The examination hall was so quiet that the only sounds were the hum of the ceiling fan overhead and the patter of rain outside the window. I took a deep breath, picked up the pen, and wrote my name on the draft paper. At 8:30, the first preparatory bell rang. The proctor began distributing the answer sheets. I calmly checked the barcode and filled in my exam number. Meanwhile, over by the bus, a scene of wilderness survival was unfolding. The following information was pieced together by me from police records and classmates' accounts afterward. The 20-odd boys who jumped into the stinking ditch were covered in black sludge and unknown garbage. The rain was falling heavily, and they couldn't even open their eyes. Running from that abandoned industrial road to the main thoroughfare was a full 3 kilometers. No umbrella, no car, only a desolate expanse of weeds and a muddy dirt road. Lu Chen stumbled along, running unevenly in the middle of the team. He clutched the waterproof bag containing his admission ticket tightly in his hand. This was his only hope now. Faster. Run. There are still 8 kilometers to go. The sports monitor roared from the front. But a distance of 8 kilometers was nothing short of an insurmountable chasm for a group of high school students who had just endured extreme panic and rolled through a stinking ditch. What's more, they had to run against the wind through the mud. On the bus, only Zhao Sihan, Lin Shi, and a few other terrified girls remained. Her cousin had run off. The bus door wouldn't open, and all the boys had jumped out the windows and fled. Lin Shi stared out the window at the pitch black, foul-smelling ditch, crying until her voice grew hoarse. I won't jump. I'd rather die than jump. Zhao Sihan slumped on the corridor floor, covered in shards of glass, her gaze vacant. The college entrance exam she had meticulously prepared for, the perfect plan she used to destroy me, ultimately became the grave that buried her. What should I do? What should I do? Zhao Sihan muttered to herself. Lin Shi suddenly went berserk, rushing over to pick up the fire extinguisher on the ground and slamming it viciously against Zhao Sihan's leg. It's all your fault. You troublemaker. Go to hell. Zhao Sihan let out a scream, clutching her leg and rolling on the ground. The carriage once again descended into chaotic scuffling. 8:45. Inside the examination hall. The standard female voice came through the broadcast. The English listening test will now begin. I put on my headphones and adjusted the volume. Section A. Listen to the short conversations. Fluent English sounded in my ears. And the tip of my pen landed steadily on the answer sheet. In my past life, when this audio was playing, I was stuck outside the exam hall, staring at the security guard's cold face, crying my heart out. The suffocating feeling of despair is something I will never forget for the rest of my life. Now, I am sitting in a bright and quiet classroom, filling each correct answer into the corresponding blank. The rain outside the window seems to have lightened a bit. I looked up and glanced at the clock on the wall. 9 o'clock sharp. The listening test was already halfway through, and those who were sprinting through the mud were still struggling in despair. Lu Chen's soles had worn through, and his feet were cut with bloody gashes by the stones. He gasped heavily, his lungs burning as if on fire. In the distance, he finally saw the red banner at the entrance of the exam center. I've arrived. Finally arrived. He drained the last ounce of strength from his body and sprinted forward. Run. No matter what. We have to get into the exam hall before 9 o'clock. I'm sorry. No one is allowed to enter during the listening test. 9:05. Outside the exam center gate, Lu Chen and a dozen other boys, like a group of water ghosts crawling out of a muddy swamp, scrambled and stumbled to the cordon. They reeked of a nauseating stench. Their school uniforms reduced to tattered rags, and it was impossible to tell whether the wetness on their faces was rain or tears. The security uncle was startled by the scene and instinctively took a step back. But when Lu Chen tried to push open the iron gate and rush in, the guard immediately blocked the door with a riot fork. Stop right there. What do you think you're doing? Lu Chen's legs gave way, and he knelt directly in the puddle of water. He held high the mud-stained waterproof bag in his hand, his voice hoarse like sandpaper scraping. Sir, we are examinees. Please let us in. The sports committee member also knelt down, a burly man over 1.8 meters tall, crying like a child. Please. We got into a car accident on the way. We really didn't mean to be late. Teacher Lee rushed out of the guardhouse, and the moment she saw the miserable state of these students, she covered her face and broke down crying. My students. How did they end up like this? She ran up to the security guard and grabbed his arm tightly. Brother, please cut us some slack. They ran into an illegal cab. It's a miracle they made it here alive. Let them in to take the exam. I'm begging you. The security guard's face showed reluctance, but he still shook his head firmly. Teacher Lee, it's not that I don't want to bend the rules. This is a national regulation. During the listening test, to avoid disturbing other examinees, absolutely no one is allowed to enter the exam area. You can only go in after the listening test ends at 9:20. Upon hearing these words, Lu Chen collapsed to the ground like a pile of mud. 9:20. This means they can't get a single point out of the 30-point English listening section. In the fiercely competitive college entrance exam, losing 30 points is essentially a death sentence. A first-tier university becomes a second-tier one. A second-tier becomes a vocational college. And a vocational college becomes a failure to enroll. Ah! Lu Chen suddenly lifted his head and let out a desperate roar like a wild beast. He pounded the puddles with his hands, splashing muddy water all over Teacher Lee's face. Zhao Sihan, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. The other boys also broke down one after another, some sitting on the ground wailing loudly, others banging their heads against the iron gate. The scene outside the exam center was so tragic that it was unbearable to witness. At 9:20, the listening test ended on time. The doors of the examination hall slowly opened. The security guard sighed and stepped aside to make way. Go on in. Don't hold up the written exam for those behind you, like walking corpses. The group of boys dragged their heavy footsteps into the examination hall. Their mentality had completely collapsed. Even while sitting in the exam hall, their minds were filled with nothing but the broken-down bus and the 30 points they had lost. 9:25 a.m. A police car screeched to a halt at the entrance of the exam center. The car door opened, and 2 police officers escorted Zhao Sihan and Lin Shi out. It turned out that a passing villager saw people fighting inside the bus and called the police. Zhao Sihan's leg was injured by Lin Shi hitting it with a fire extinguisher, and she walked with a limp. Her dress was torn into shreds, and her face was covered in scratches and bruises. Seeing the open entrance to the examination hall, Zhao Sihan struggled like a madwoman, trying to break free from the police and rush inside. "Let me go. I have to take the exam. I'm not late yet." The police officer firmly pressed down on her shoulder. "Calm down. You are currently suspected of causing a disturbance and disrupting the exam order. You must come with us to the station for investigation." Zhao Sihan struggled desperately, shouting and yelling in the direction of the security guard's office. "Why won't you let me in? My dad paid the money. Do you know who I am? Who you are doesn't matter. What matters is that you are suspected of sabotaging a national-level exam. Come with us." The cold voice of the police officer cut off Zhao Sihan's tantrum. A pair of icy handcuffs clicked shut around her mud-stained wrists. Zhao Sihan was stunned, staring at the silver medal on her wrist. Finally realizing the seriousness of the situation, her legs went weak, and she collapsed to the ground. At 11:30, the bell signaling the end of the exam rang precisely on time. I put down my pen and let out a long, deep sigh of relief. This English exam paper was no challenge for me at all. Especially the listening section. It was so clear that I didn't miss a single connected speech. I packed up my stationery and walked out of the exam hall with the crowd. As soon as I reached the main gate of the exam center, I was stunned by the scene before me. The area outside the gate was already packed to the brim. Dozens of furious parents, holding umbrellas, had surrounded the police car. Teacher Lee stood in the center, her hair disheveled, bowing and apologizing to each parent in turn. "I'm sorry. I didn't fulfill my responsibilities. I'm sorry." A slightly plump aunt rushed forward, grabbed Teacher Lee by the collar, and sprayed her face with spittle. "Is a simple sorry enough? My son studies until 2 in the morning every night just to get into a top-tier university. Now you're telling me that because he took the black car arranged by the class monitor, his hearing test got a 0. How are you even managing as the homeroom teacher?" Just then, Lu Chen and the group of boys also walked out of the exam hall. They had changed into the old clothes lent to them by the security guard, but the stench on their bodies was still pungent. Seeing Lu Chen's utterly devastated state, his mother fainted from heartache, plunging the scene into another bout of chaos. The police car door was pulled open, and an older officer stepped out with a megaphone. "Everyone, please stay calm. I am the director of the local police station. Regarding the bus breakdown incident this morning, we have already preliminarily uncovered the truth." The entire venue fell silent instantly, with everyone's eyes fixed intently on the old policeman. The old policeman took out a statement record and spoke in a loud voice. "After investigation, it has been confirmed that the bus driver, Lu, is the cousin of the student Zhao Sihan. Lu did not possess the operational qualifications to drive the bus, and the vehicle itself was a second-hand car on the verge of being scrapped. According to Lu's confession, Zhao Sihan gave him 2,000 yuan in cash last night and instructed him to deliberately take a detour through the abandoned industrial road this morning and fake a vehicle breakdown. The purpose was to make the fellow examinee late, thereby affecting their exam results." As soon as these words were spoken, a deafening gasp erupted from the crowd. "What? Intentional sabotage? This woman's heart is too vicious." The parents completely lost it. Several hot-tempered fathers rushed straight toward the police car, wanting to drag Zhao Sihan out and beat her to death. "Hand over that little beast. I'm going to kill her." The police struggled with all their might to maintain order. Zhao Sihan, sitting in the police car, looked through the window at the faces outside that seemed ready to tear her apart. Trembling with fear, she suddenly rolled down the window a crack and cried out to the crowd, "I didn't. I was just trying to make a joke. I never meant for things to blow up like this. I'm also trapped in the car. I'm a victim too." Lu Chen stood at the front of the crowd and suddenly laughed out loud upon hearing these words. That laughter sounded even more unpleasant than crying, filled with endless desolation and self-mockery. He walked up to the police car and stared intently at Zhao Sihan through the glass. A joke. You're joking with the futures of over 20 of us. Zhao Sihan. You've ruined my entire life. Even as a ghost. I won't let you off. Then go to hell and slowly rot with her. I stood on the steps not far away, watching Lu Chen's twisted face, and silently said to myself. A month later, the college entrance exam results were announced. With an impressive score of 698 points, I ranked among the top 3 in the city. And my English score of 145 was particularly outstanding. On the night the scores came out, my parents hugged each other, crying and laughing with excitement. They called my grandparents, who live far away in our hometown, to share the good news that very night. For everyone else in Class 2, Grade 12, this summer was a complete and utter winter. The more than 20 boys who took the bus, having scored 0 on the English listening test and completely losing their composure, failed the subsequent exams and all missed the mark. Even Lu Chen, who usually had stable grades that could secure a spot at a top-tier university, scored less than 400 points, not enough to get into even a decent vocational college. As for Lin Shi, although she didn't miss the listening test, she got injured from fighting with Zhao Sihan in the car and then spent half a day in the rain by a stinking ditch. That very afternoon, she came down with a high fever. Her final score was a pitifully low 200-something. The day after the results came out, Lin Shi came to my apartment building to block my way. She had lost a lot of weight. Her eyes were evasive, and she tugged at my sleeve, crying and begging. Su Qiao, can you lend me some money to retake the exam? My parents found out I scored so low, and they want to marry me off to an old bachelor in the village for the bride price. I know I was wrong. I shouldn't have posted the chat logs in the group. Can you forgive me, please? I coldly pulled my hand back, looking at her face, which was full of calculation. Lin Shi, you don't know you were wrong, you just know you're finished. When you sold me out for an 80 yuan cab fare, you should have known this day would come. I turned and walked into the building, ignoring her wails behind me, never looking back. Later, I heard from Zhang Meng about what happened to Zhao Sihan. For allegedly deliberately sabotaging a national-level exam and causing extremely severe social repercussions, Zhao Sihan was criminally charged. Her parents sold their house and car, exhausting all their assets to pay a huge sum of money in order to obtain letters of forgiveness from those more than 20 families. But even so, Zhao Sihan still could not escape the punishment of the law. She was sentenced to fixed-term imprisonment, and for the rest of her life, she will never be able to take the college entrance exam again, let alone have a brilliant future. And that once arrogant homeroom teacher, Mr. Li, was also fired by the school for serious dereliction of duty and had his teaching certificate revoked. As for Lu Chen, I heard his family spent a fortune to enroll him in a repeat class, but the shock he suffered was too great, and he developed some mental issues. Every day in the classroom, whenever he heard the horn of a bus, he would be so frightened that he would crawl under the desk and scream. That once spirited and confident young man had completely become a laughingstock. In mid-August, I received the admission letter from a top-tier university. The red cover, with its gold-embossed school emblem, shimmered brilliantly in the sunlight. I took out my phone, snapped a photo of the admission letter, and posted it on my social media along with the picture I had taken on the morning of the college entrance exam, a shot of the empty street at the exam site entrance. The caption was simple: "The early bird catches the worm. But those who try to take shortcuts will only end up eating prison food." Less than a minute after the post went up on Moments, Zhang Meng and Wang Yu instantly liked and commented, "Thank you, Sister Qiao, for saving my life. Fist. Follow Sister Qiao. And Tsinghua and Peking University are within reach. Celebration." I looked at the comments on the screen, and a genuine smile finally curled at the corners of my mouth. The sunlight outside was just right, the breeze gentle and mild. I locked my phone screen and slipped it into my pocket. My brilliant life was only just beginning.